Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about 2020 regionals, letting you guys know everything you need to know. First off, regionals are a qualifying event for championships. It is a fast track to championships. If you win your regional division or get an invite, you can come to championships without meeting any of the other qualification requirements. There are 3 different divisions. There are 2 for elite and 1 for open. The elite divisions are standard and veteran. Veteran encompasses both veteran dogs and veteran handlers. And then for the open level dogs, that corresponds to pre-elite. There are 5 height groups within those divisions: miniature, small, medium, large, and extra large. The extra large division is somewhat new. It is for dogs that are over 22 inches. If you don't know if your dog is over 22, you can have them measured at the event. They will have a 22-inch wicket available. You do have to have them measured at the event, not post-event. If it becomes Tuesday after the regional, you say, oh, I think my dog's actually over, you get them measured, they are over, that's bad luck. We cannot make any changes post-event. So if you have any questions about it, please get measured at the event, because there will be no changes happening post-event. Scoring for the majority of the divisions, well, scoring for all divisions, but we'll get into how you actually get your invite, is time plus faults deducted from a base score. Your base score is going to be 150 points, and then sadly it will only get worse from there. Hopefully not by a lot. So if you run in 30 seconds, your points have now gone down to 120 points. And if you had 10 faults, you now have 110 points. There is going to be a distance option on the elite and open courses for regionals. What the distance option is, basically think of it as a low-key chances line. It usually can be anywhere from 3 to 5 obstacles. It's usually about 4 of them. And it's not going to be as hard of a distance challenge as chances, but will be more than what you would see as far as just what most people will run. So there's a little bit of a challenge there. There is no fault or penalty if you do not attempt it. There is no fault or penalty if you attempt it and fail. But if you successfully complete the distance option, you will get 10 points added to your score. So your 110 points with a successful distance option completed now becomes 120 points. So it can help your score out quite a bit. Anyone can come to a regional event. There is no qualifications to attend. You just have to enter, and you have to be in either open or elite. Teams wanting to enter into the stakes divisions can do that. It is a little bit different for how they get their invite though. For the elite, standard, elite veteran, and pre-elite, you need to win your height group. So if you're in the miniature, you need to win that group. If you're the only dog in that group, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Stakes is a little bit different in that you have 4 rounds of regular, which is the same for everyone. That's over Saturday and Sunday. Those are the only rounds the weekend that count for regionals. So 4 rounds of regular on Saturday and Sunday. Out of those 4 rounds, you need 2 of those rounds to be 100% clean from a stakes line if you want to get an invite into either super, silver, or starter. Because this is basically a fast track, you also have to show exceptional skill. So we do not do partial sequences. If you get 3 sequences but you miss the 4th, you cannot submit that as a possible for being an invite off of regionals. It has to be complete, all 4 sequences, clean. It has to be a queue. You can't be knocking bars, anything like that. Well, you can knock 1 bar, but you can't have multiple knock bars, a missed contact, anything like that. It needs to be a clean run from behind whichever line. So 2 clean runs from the starter stakes line is an invite into starter stakes, and so on with silver and super. The bonuses do need to be submitted to NADAC. The judge at your trial will not be judging them live. You will need to video them. You will need to send them to NADAC. We will judge them the same day they are sent. That way on Sunday when they're announcing the winners, they will also announce who all gets an invite via the stakes divisions. So you do have to have that option to send those videos in fairly quickly. If you don't have the ability to do that, there's usually somebody at the trial who does, so I would just suggest making some friends. As far as how it works, if you're the only dog in your division, we don't really like giving participation trophies. That's just not really our style. So you still have to meet a minimum requirement for points. So if you're the only, let's say, elite veteran miniature dog, which that does happen quite often, you still need 325 points over those 4 rounds in order to get the invite to championships. If you don't get those 325, then you don't get the invite. This also works the same for junior handlers. So if you are a junior handler, we don't really pit them against each other. They're just competing against themselves. And we give multiple invites. So if there are 5 junior handlers and all 5 of them get 325 points, all 5 of them get the invite. Whereas elite, standard, medium, for instance, it would only be that first place dog. For junior handlers, it's anyone who meets that point requirement. That pretty much covers all the basics. A couple things that are a little bit different for 2020. We are not personally going to be here. When I say personally us, that is myself, Amanda, or Jimmy. The cost last year were just way too much to get everyone to 7 regionals. So we will not be there this year. What we are doing is all the scoring will be done by us. So your trial secretaries will still be entering the scores into their computer, and then once they're done, they're going to take a picture of it, send it to us, and we will put all those scores into our computer where it will show up online, and that's how everything will be scored. So we'll still be doing all of the scoring ourselves. We'll also be manning the support line basically constantly on a regional weekend. So if you guys have any questions that we didn't answer here, which I'm sure there will be, you can just send an email to support@nadac.com. I would suggest putting the word regional somewhere in the headline. That way we know that we need to get to that immediately. And we'll basically be on our computers the entire weekend. So any questions you guys have, they will get answered. I wouldn't say immediately, but probably within 20 to 30 minutes. It will still be a full work weekend for us. So anything you have, just send it that way. Other than that, really the important things to keep in mind, if you are not sure of your dog's height, please have them measured. If you think your dog is above 22 inches, please have them measured. That is incredibly important. Some general tips and tricks, if you've never had championship style scoring before, keep in mind that faults can be overcome by time. And you also don't want to compound both of those together. So the best example is a set of weave poles. If your dog bails out at pole 9, 10, towards the end of a set of 12, you really have to evaluate whether it's worth it to redo those weave poles. If it's going to take you more than 20 seconds to go back through them and exit, then quite honestly, it's probably not worth your time. Because if you had just continued, yes, you're going to get 20 faults for failure to perform, but if you go back, fix the weave poles, and it takes you 30 seconds to get all the way back there and fix them, well, you've just gained 10 more faults because of time. So it's definitely a strategy game, so definitely keep that in mind. Same thing goes for, missed hoops, anything like that. Sometimes it's not worth missing a hoop because you can pick it up really quick in, 5-6 seconds, and that's a lot better than getting 20 faults for failure to perform. You cannot get negative faults. You can only go down to 0. So if you have a really bad run, just know it can only get so bad before we're not going to give you negative. We're never going to take points away from you. The worst you can do is 0. So that's always good news. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, please let us know. We wish you guys all the best of luck at all of the 2020 regionals, and we will see you hopefully at championships. Good luck, everybody.